Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 6, Part 6. So now we're finally getting through the last of the Dr. Wily stages, or really getting far into Dr. Wily's castle. We're going for another very familiar looking level, supposed to obviously resemble, was it Centaur Man's level? I think it was Centaur Man's level, but also it resembles more, I think, of like, what was that guy called? Yeah, Dive Man from Mega Man 4, and possibly some other robot water theme. You know, a little bit like Ice Man and Bubble Man. It's kind of like a mix of all those levels merged together. And there's fish everywhere, and to cross that ice in Jet Mega Man, you really have to take a hit so you could hit the spikes for a split second and not get killed. Well, and there's fish and enemies around here. There isn't any water in the sky in this level. This level actually knows its physics, actually knows how physics are supposed to work. It's really easy to grab the goodies in there, even without the Jet Mega Man. It's still really easy to jump down there and not get hit by spikes and grab the goodies. It's really skillful. You really need to be like a master, but again, I am the Mega Man master. How else would I get this far in Mega Man franchise? If I wasn't a master of Mega Man, I probably wouldn't get through this far. And all my videos have on YouTube that prove proof that I've made it this far in Mega Man. I've beat all the Mega Man games, so now there is no boss for this level. Well, technically is, but it's really a gauntlet of bosses. There's no one single boss, it's a gauntlet of bosses. Or it's a regular, standardized, routine boss gauntlet. So first you're going after Yamato Man. We're going after him first. Using their weaknesses, well, most of the weapons in this game are very energy efficient, so most of the time you're better off, and the weaknesses don't always do a lot of damage to them. Well, for some of them it does, for some of them not always. So a lot of the time, you're actually better off just using the Mega Buster, but I think it's actually more challenging to sometimes to actually use the weaknesses. Sometimes I'm using weaknesses a lot because real skilled players use the weaknesses. And then each boss gives you a large health refill every time you beat one of the bosses. So I've taken out the first boss in that cylindrical container. Imagine like a cloning chamber or something like that. And are these the actual bosses, or are they just clones of the actual bosses? They're pretty much the same in this game. They might be slightly more aggressive than they were earlier, but for the most part, they're pretty much the same as they were the first time you came across them. So, it's like we really had a lot of trouble fighting Plant Man the first time we came across him, so naturally, he's going to be an even bigger challenge the second time we see him in all his plant glory. Yeah, plants are like Mega Man's other weakness, right? And their weakness is blizzards, of course, and so now they took down two of them now, so now it's time to take out the third one. Who else is gonna get terminated next? Oh look, it's Nightman. Ooh, knight in shining armor, man. Yeah, more like knight in broken up rusty scrap metal armor, 'cause that's what he's gonna be after I'm through with him. And especially after I jab him so many times with the Yamato Spear. The Yamato Spear could pierce through his armor easy and jab him down and destroy most of his, look at that, most of his health is gone now. Now he actually is one of the easier. Nightman actually is one of the easier robot masters with his weakness, and the Yamato Spear is not really the most, it's not the most, energy efficient. Again, almost none of the weapons in this game are energy efficient. So now we're gonna do some meat tenderizing again. Remember last time we did some meat tenderizing? Well, I hope you're up for seconds, because that's what we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna be tenderizing Centaur Man. I wonder what robotic centaur meat tastes like. I know in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Rob the robot was in that game, and he could get cooked by Kirby in that game. I wonder what cooked robot tastes like. What does it taste like to cook a robot? I wonder what kind of species would eat something like that. So now we're going against Wind Man. He's going to break a lot of wind against us, so I'm going to use the Centaur Man's weapon on him, the Flash weapon, where I could flash freeze him right there in the spot. Well, it doesn't really actually freeze him, and it's supposed to be a freeze-based weapon, but it doesn't freeze. It doesn't really make sense why his weakness. I don't know, because wind is, I think it's supposed to be because wind is like a very dynamic thing that constantly blows around, so if you use a Centaur Flash, it freezes it in place, so it can't move around, so it can't really be wind. Well, wind is movement, really. If wind didn't have any movement at all, wind would pretty much be nothing. So maybe that's why she's trying to make more sense now. So we're going after Tomahawk Man. We're going after our favorite. I don't even know what the hell he's supposed to be, but whatever he is, he's weak against plants. Or Tomahawk's weak against plants? I don't know. I know nothing about Tomahawks. I still know nothing about Tomahawks from the last time I came across Tomahawk Man. Look at that. It didn't even it took out like 60% of his health right there. So we're gonna have to be using the Buster to fight him, but then again, this guy's a bit of a wuss. If this were the DOS version of Mega Man, I'd just have him killed right there by rapidly firing at him, because the DOS version of, well, the DOS Mega Man games, the enemies don't have invincibility buffers, so you can just spam shots on them and kill them in a matter of seconds. I actually find the invincibility buffers, I don't know if everyone's like this, but I know that invincibility buffers in this game seem to be a little bit longer and a little more, effective on the Robot Master's side than ours. It's because they seem to last a long time as invincibility buffers, and when they get for like 2 seconds after they get hit, it's like they can't take another hit. I'm pretty sure other Robot Masters in Mega Man were like that. I mean, not the Mega Man 1. I don't think the Robot Masters in Mega Man 1 were like that, which is explain why a lot of Robot Masters in Mega Man 1 could get killed by their weaknesses easy, especially like Elec Man. There's times where I killed Elec Man with one rolling cutter. I didn't do it in the Let's Play though, because it's a really masterful thing to pull off, but yeah, I actually did kill Elec Man once just using one roller cutter, and then I killed Iceman, I think, using one shot of Elec Man's weapon, but that's because I used the pause trick, because Mega Man 1 then has a notorious pause trick, which never returned in any of the later Mega Man games. That's why I had trouble beating the old style game, and Mega Man Powered Up, it's pretty much the exact same thing as Mega Man 1, but with updated graphics. And so this game is lazy this time around. They're not going to make us fight a boss before we actually go take on Dr. Wily. They think, why prolong the inevitable? Let's just go after Dr. Wily right now and end this. And end all what he's done in these games since the beginning. His career as being an 8-bit NES villain. Yeah, everyone's career as being an 8-bit NES. Anything is going to be ending with this game. Mega Man 6, the conclusion of 8-bit NES Mega Man. And look at that, it's that vending machine right there. Now you see there too where you can put I don't even see a slot for a coin. I know people put coins in there and get like their own little met tool. What would be the point of that thing? Dr. Wily, considering how many met tools he has, probably could start a business selling met tools. He could have sold them as like house workers. There's Eddie again. Somehow Eddie got deep into the bowels of Dr. Wily's castle. He's gonna give us a refill. We should refill the Night Crush because that's the final boss's weakness. Not that we really need that because the final boss is pushover. It's a pathetic pushover. You clearly didn't even put any effort in. It's like reused from other final bosses from other things. This is actually the least part of the problem. This is quite possibly one of the least original final bosses in Mega Man game. They just reused them. They reused that Crusher thing from Mega Man 5, that thing that could get crushed easy. It's pretty much, it works the same thing, only its attack pattern's a bit different. But if you have plenty of E-Tanks, which you really should have plenty of E-Tanks, unless it really suck that much, you have to keep using E-Tanks. But if you saved up a lot of E-Tanks, this boss is a complete total pansy, complete total pushover. And he's like, this is almost like, I don't know, this is almost like Kirby's Epic Yarn level of easiness. I only played Kirby's Epic Yarn like once, and it was years ago. That game is easy as hell. I played for I played for most of the game in like only less than an hour or so, because the game is literally that easy. It like takes you back to a time, well, that time was like 2010, where they make it impossible to lose at games, which is the opposite of games from like the 80s and 90s, where losing is something that's always gonna happen when you play games. And I can just use charge shots. I'm just like what we did with that Crusher boss in Mega Man 5. And now he's gonna become the same final boss you've seen in every Mega Man game since Mega Man 4, where he pretty much just becomes a flying UFO that randomly teleports around the levels. Yep, the same thing we've seen since Mega Man 4. They're really they really didn't try. He's actually easier than he was in Mega Man 4 and Mega Man 5. He's actually bigger now. We have a weapon that can easily hit him. The Tomahawk, the Silver Tomahawk's weapon can easily beat him. I don't even need to use an E-Tank on him because he's just that easy, and his shots are very predictable. Everything about this boss is very predictable. This is the most predictable boss in any Mega Man game ever, pretty much. So now we've captured Dr. Wily. We've got him tied up, or he's going to be thrown behind bars where he goes to black and white. Dr. Wily be ein bien. Triumphant at last, Mega Man arrested the notorious Dr. Wily and brought him to justice. Sentenced to prison for his crimes. Yeah, plural, crimes, plural. Dr. Wily now rules over prison, so that's what he deserves for how he committed crimes in 5 other games before this one, and he always seemed to get away. At long last, the world is at peace. Yeah, Dr. Wily always got away with his crimes in all the past Mega Man games, but not this time around. Dr. Wily actually got arrested and sent to justice, where he's in jail now, and now we're going to sit through what's probably the most lengthy ending in any Mega Man game ever. It's not even like really plots. It's showing us which each and every Robot Master was in their native habitat, or they're just running around doing their thing for 30 seconds a piece or something like that, and just says what the names. It doesn't just simply say what their name is and who designed them like it did in the past games. No, we actually have to see them in action. This is the last Mega Man game on the NES, so we really need to see what the NES is capable of doing, like a farewell. This game pretty much is like a big farewell to the NES. There weren't very many good, noteworthy, except for Wario Woods or things like that, there were very many good, noteworthy games that came out on the NES after this. It's kind of like, like saying a big farewell. I mean, that's why they extended the ending. Like, they gave us a really long ending, showing the Robot Masters of Mega Man 6 just jumping around and doing their things for so long, because this is totally necessary. This is a very, this is, so now this is like a true moment of, like a historic moment, that this is the end of an era. And also today it's the birthday of Kumatara's Cake, my first online friend and first online fan, I guess you could call him that. So happy birthday, Kumatara's Cake. Happy birthday to my longest-serving internet friend, the friend that introduced me to Discord. I owe a lot to him, and I owe a lot to Discord, because he introduced me to Discord, and Discord is how I got to meet so many other people, and how I got to expand the Phoenixverse, which is a multiverse, or several multiverses of different characters, and stories, and stuff that have consists of Jason and Mason, Odyssey of Oddities, and Ivan's War. And some other properties, and involves some other things my friends created too, such as Supremo Life, and I really owe a lot to Kumatara's Cake. Wouldn't have any of that if it wasn't for him introducing me to Discord, so thank you again for that. And so Mega Man 6 is, ending, and it's just really the close. This whole game is just doing its closing statement now. It's kind of like when you're making a speech, and you have to, make the speech last for, about 10 minutes, and you say everything you want to say after 5 minutes. You're just randomly coming up with stuff to speak of. I think that's what the game is doing right now. The game is just couldn't think of anything more to say, or anything more to do to make it feel like you actually got your money's worth, because they want to make the ending very, eventful, because it's like, they want to make people feel they got their money's worth, but they thought they would just drag stuff on for as long as they could. Just watching the Robot Masters, there's Windman, quite possibly the most pathetic Robot Master in the game. Sure, he can be brutal if you don't have his weakness, and he was the first one we went against, but still, if you know how to beat him, he actually is quite easy. He's like the cheap Chinese discount airman. And now there's Yamato Man, that guy supposedly named after a Japanese athlete. He looks like an action figure, samurai action figure that some kid would have. And he's purple too, which I remember before saying purple's a big color in the 90s. I think Barney the dinosaur is partially to blame for that, why so many kids loved purple back in the 90s. Was there a purple Power Ranger? I don't remember. There was purple a lot of them. I've seen purple stuff around everywhere. And now we're actually getting to the actual credits. It's playing a piece of music that's going to be used in the intro to Mega Man 7 right now. Someone wrote lyrics to the song where it's like he's Mega Man, he kicked Dr. Wily's ass again, and now he's in jail, and he's made of fail, and Mega Man's made of epic win. They sets up some of the stuff that's going to happen in Mega Man 7, which is the next game. It's going to come out about 2 years, maybe less than 2 years after this one. And some people are using what I think are pseudonyms. I really doubt Turkey613 is the name of an actual person. That sounds like the name a robot would have. And then there's some Japanese names that you're expecting. Yuko. Yep, Yuko did a good job on the sound. Kudos to Yuko. Special thanks to Hyper Benji. Yeah, so that's clearly a pseudonym too. And Duke and Capcom All Staff. We're going to see the luxurious Capcom logo presented by Capcom and all of its pseudo 16-bit glory to be continued. Apparently there's going to be something more after this. Only there's going to be something more, but we know there's always something more because Capcom likes to stretch out their flagship franchise for as much as possible. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.